common KYC requirements across different jurisdictions, right? This is probably a question that Dr. Ryan and Mohammed should answer. You know, in your days at the local regulator, and probably Stuart as well, right? It would be very nice, and this goes back to my scale point before, very nice to have a common requirement across the GCC for KYC, sort of a GCC utility per se, if it's at all possible, right? Or at least a countrywide utility. So what are your thoughts in terms of, although the rules are based on FATF requirements across all the jurisdictions, but there are some peculiar sort of differences, and at least the treatment by the regulator. So Dr. Awan, what do you think? What's the way forward, again, to Jesse's point or James' point about unlocking economic growth by making it easier and business to be frictionless?
Well, standard setting with regards to KYC is already there. We know we need an identity, we need a proof of address, etc. This is already set. Now, where it gets a little bit complicated is when in the start of the webinar, where you're saying the commercial license, for example. Okay, so the client providing a commercial license, he should not need to provide a commercial license. I should be able to have a reference, go on the website of the registrar, and pull myself the commercial license for that client. No need for him to provide it. So this can be done using technology. So where technology can pull that information rather than have it pushed by the client. So I'd rather go into the pull rather than push approach with clients, but this requires that the regulators, they set certain standards with regards to having this information available on the website, readily available, not in a completely open way, but based on specific references. For example, utility bills, no need for the client to provide the utility bill. We should be able to go to the website of ADDC or the Dubai Electricity Authority and just with a reference, download that utility bill. No need for me to check whether the date has been tampered with or not. So this can accelerate substantially the KYC elements.
Thank you, Dr. Awan. Mohammed?
Yeah, just to add on to that, Jehanzeb, I think it would be an ideal world. I mean, if across GC we have similar requirements. I mean, the whole market is so small. I mean, we've got what 200 to 250 million, including Egypt. But I mean, there's so much variance, and of course, market from market differs as well. UAE is a bit too advanced, and then let's compare to Saudis coming up, but still, I mean, you can't compare them in terms of requirements, also policies and procedures that are followed. Also, even within domestically or locally, not all regulatory bodies or government bodies probably follow the same let's say procedures, or the level of scrutiny is as much as it should be, which makes it very challenging to make it centralized. And also going back to Ryan's point of making data available, I think one of the biggest challenges that we have when it comes to especially when it comes to client onboarding, most of our data is not public. I mean, there's very less data available publicly, wherein, I mean, I sit with companies and especially, I mean, of course, yourself as well. I mean, if you were to find details about any company, you can't just find it in any of the public registries. And we've got so many different zones across the GCC who have so many different companies, but the data is very limited. I think that's, it would be ideal if we have let's say a bit more centralized view on requirements and procedures. But I think with technology and with globalization, it would evolve. Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you very much. I think we are over time now, so I would like to thank all the panelists. Thank you so much.